The rich versus the wealthy people often use the words wealthy interchangeably to describe someone with considerable financial assets. However, there is a striking illustration of how the two differ. The wealthy have a different lifestyle and mindset than the rich. The wealthy live below their means, while the rich spend everything they make. The wealthy invest in assets, while the rich invest in liabilities. The wealthy think long-term, while the rich think short-term. The wealthy want to give back, while the rich want to take more. They are content living in an average home or wearing average clothes because they are smart enough not to let money control them. The difference between these two groups becomes even more apparent when you compare their lifestyle and mindset. For example, most people who fall into the category of wealthy work hard and will earn $100,000 per year, whereas someone who falls into the category of rich would earn $1 million per year. Why does this matter? It matters because it is much easier for a person to become wealthy than it is for them to become rich. Anyone can be wealthy if they put in enough hours at work and save wisely. There isn't much that anyone can do about becoming rich without a lucrative job and connections to provide additional opportunities like inheritance, winning the lottery, starting a company, etc. In essence, wealth defines what we can afford, but doesn't define what we're worth as human beings. How do they earn money? The rich tend to earn their money through active income, which is money earned from working. The wealthy, on the other hand, tend to earn their money through passive income, which is money earned from investments. The rich might have a job that pays them a high salary, while the wealthy might own a business that generates profits without their having to be actively involved. However, this does not mean a wealthy person will always make more than someone who has an active income. For example, a doctor who makes $250K annually may be wealthier than a surgeon who makes $500K annually if they only work 4 days per week and can live off of their retirement investments. What matters is how much the individual earns relative to what they spend. Someone with an annual salary of $100K but spends $200K each year. There are many ways to become wealthy or increase your wealth. One way would be to invest in something like real estate. When you invest in a property and hold it for a long time, you start making a profit just by collecting rent checks every month, or when you sell it at a higher price than what you paid for it. Another way would be to invest in stocks. If you invest in a company's stock and then that company goes public, shares are split into two parts. One part belongs to the company, called treasury stock, and one part belongs to investors, called common stock. If you buy treasury stock as an investor before it splits into two parts, those shares get converted into common stock once the company goes public. You can either keep holding onto your shares or sell them on the open market. Spending habits. The rich tend to spend their money on things that will appreciate, such as investments, real estate, and businesses. The wealthy, on the other hand, are more likely to spend their money on luxuries, such as cars, vacations, and expensive clothes. There is a marked difference between these two groups in how they view money. For example, wealthy people would prefer not to buy something used because it doesn't carry the same prestige as buying something new, whereas the rich can be happy with anything as long as it's of good quality. The way the rich think about money is also different from how the wealthy think about it. As we said before, the rich enjoy spending their money, while the wealthy feel more inclined to keep and store it. If you had to choose one or the other, I recommend thinking about your current life situation before deciding which type of person you want to be. For example, if you're currently living paycheck to paycheck, then chances are becoming wealthy might be the best choice for you. Conversely, if you already have plenty of assets and investments, then maybe being rich would suit your lifestyle better. Their defining characteristics. The rich are often defined by their net worth, which is the value of their assets minus their liabilities. In contrast, the wealthy are defined more by their annual income. The rich tend to have a save and invest mindset, while the wealthy have a spend and enjoy mindset. The rich tend to focus on building wealth, while the wealthy focus on enjoying their wealth. Finally, the rich tend to be more risk-averse than the wealthy. While they may make investments with higher risks, they do so with less frequency and in smaller amounts. For example, Those who own $1 million in stocks are far less likely to sell those stocks during an economic downturn than those who own 10 million in stocks. Furthermore, the wealthy are more likely to inherit their money rather than work for it. One final way that the rich differ from the wealthy is that they typically work harder at making money through entrepreneurship or establishing new businesses rather than inheriting them from family members. Some examples include Bill Gates, J.K. Rowling, Elon Musk, Larry Ellison, Mark Zuckerberg, and Oprah Winfrey. They also put in more hours each week. Of course, this does not mean that all rich people are entrepreneurs. There are many millionaires out there who inherited their wealth, but what unites all these individuals is that they work hard to achieve financial success and build their fortunes themselves rather than relying on inherited riches. Ultimately, one major difference between the two types of people is how much time they dedicate to accumulating their wealth. The rich take proactive measures towards becoming financially secure, while the wealthy let others take care of it for them. Who are they really? The rich are those who have a lot of money. They may have inherited their wealth, or they may have earned it through their hard work. The wealthy, on the other hand, are those who have a lot of assets. This includes things like property, stocks, and bonds. The wealthy may also have a lot of cash on hand, but they also have other ways of growing their money. For example, if someone has 1 million in stocks alone, that person is wealthy. If that same person has $1 million in cash, as well as some real estate investments and savings accounts, then he or she is considered to be both rich and wealthy. There is no specific measure for determining whether one person is richer than another. One example is two people with similar incomes who have drastically different levels of net worth because one spends all his or her money while the other saves every penny. At the end of the day, you could say that being rich means having a high income. However, being wealthy means having many different sources of income. Who wants to be wealthy and who wants to be rich? A lot of people want to be wealthy. They want to have a lot of money. They want to be able to buy anything they want and not have to worry about money. But being wealthy is not the same as being rich. Being wealthy means having a lot of money, but it also means having a lot of debt. It means living in a big house and driving a nice car, but it also means working long hours and never having any time for yourself. So what does being rich mean? To be rich is when you don't need to work. You can live your life doing whatever you want, because you already have all the money that you could ever need. When you're rich, you can make more money by investing in things, or just sitting back and letting the interest pile up in your bank account. When you're rich, time is no longer an issue. You can spend more time with family and friends or do things that make you happy. Things like traveling or volunteering at a local soup kitchen, without worrying about how much extra cash will cost. You can take care of other people instead of focusing solely on your own needs. You'll know that every day you've been generous and compassionate towards others who are less fortunate than you are. Conclusion. We would like to see you in the comments. Which are the most important aspects of being rich versus being wealthy? We look forward to hearing your input. If you are feeling inspired, feel free to click the video on the screen to explore more content from the wealthy. We will see you there or in the comment section. As always, thanks for stopping by and watching another episode of The Wealthy. Cheers and keep exploring.